It's 9:31. Should we wait?
We can start, Ibu, please. Thank you.
Okay. Baiklah, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Bapak Ibu, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Indonesian ESP Teachers Community. And we're going to have a sharing session number 12. And after a while, it's nice to see you again. And we're going to have we're going to gain new fresh insights from our outstanding speakers today. I am Roshida Janti Vijaya. I will be your MC for today. And before we start all activities today, allow me to greet our honorable chairman, Bapak Dwi Nugroho M.Pd. And we also expect Ibu Lulu Ismawati S.Pd M.Hum today. She's on the way, I guess. And also let me greet our distinguished speakers, Ibu Komilie Situmorang S.Pd M.Sc from Universitas Pelita Harapan, Bapak Ade Kristianus Kaloeti S.Hum M.A. from Universitas Kristen Immanuel Yogyakarta, and also Bapak Dr. Immanuel Sujana M.A. from the University of Mataram. I would like also to greet our graceful moderator, Ibu Dr. Bonifasia, Ekta, Fima, Natalia, S.Pd, M.Pd from STIE Solusi Business Indonesia. And also, of course, our awesome participants. Welcome, once again, welcome to the Indonesian ESP Teachers Community sharing session number 12. And before we begin, let me read the agendas for today. The first one is opening. And after that, we're going to sing our national anthem, Indonesia Raya. And we also continue it with photo session, if it is possible now. And then we will enjoy welcoming speech from our chairmen before we begin the sharing session. And the next, we will have the announcement delivered by our chairman, and after that, closing. And for your information, Bapak Ibu, the attendance list link will be shared near the end of this sharing session. And of course, another information is the materials of today also will be shared in our WhatsApp group or will be collected in OneDrive, ya Ibu. Okay. Okay, without delaying any further, let's move on to our second agenda today, singing our national anthem, Indonesia Raya.
Ibu Yanti, I'm sorry, still muted.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, something that I missed, I think we have to pray before the session begin. So let's pray, everyone. We pray for this sharing session going to run well. Please. Thank you. Now I'd like to check whether we can do the photo session now or later. Photo session now?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay, Bian.
Yeah, everyone, please turn on your camera so we can take a picture together and we can see your beautiful and handsome faces, please. Bapak Mada Sujana. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, thank you, Bayani. Next, stage 2. Ready, Bayani?
Okay, 1, 2. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Thank you, Bayani. Okay, next agenda is a welcoming speech will be delivered by Bapak Dwi Nugroho as M.Pd. Bapak Dwi Nugroho, the screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ibu Yanti, for the time. So good morning, Bapak Ibu. Good afternoon or even good evening if you're joining us from abroad. I would like to welcome you to this exciting event, ESP sharing session number 12. If I see number 12, so quite grateful that our community has expanded this much or this far, because until today we have ESP sharing session number 12. So it means 12 sharing sessions have been conducted, or now we are conducting number 12. So it means number 11 sharing sessions has been conducted, excluded the expert sharing session, because we also have the expert sharing session. So welcome, Bapak Ibu, to this exciting event. And I would like to thank Bapak Ibu who are willing to participate and also to share their best practice in this occasion. Thank you so much, Ibu Yanti, who is willing to become the Master of Ceremony, and also Ibu Ekta as the moderator today. Thank you so much, Ibu Komilie, Pak Ade, and also Pak Made. Thank you so much for your willingness to share probably one of your best practices to everybody who are now in this room. So we appreciate your time and also your energy, your willingness to join in this occasion, and hopefully everyone can learn many things from the speakers for this occasion. And I would also like to thank the committee members who are organizing this event. Without them, probably we will not have this kind of event this morning. And I would like also to give some information, probably Bapak Ibu, if you some of you ask about the membership to join us. The next round for the membership will be opened the next August. So if you would like to renew your membership status, or you would like to register yourself to the Indonesian ESP teachers community, so we would like to open the registration in the next August. And we also have WhatsApp group as the stat online platform for us to share information, and including what's that? To share experiences, yeah. For lately, somebody shared their experiences in the scholarship, dealing with the scholarships, and also some days ago we have quite nice discussions about systematic literature review. So if you haven't joined the WhatsApp group platform and you're willing to join that, so please, we also have that kind of platform. Probably later on, Ibu Erni can share the WhatsApp link if you are willing to join us, as long as you are the ESP teachers, Indonesian ESP teachers. So without further ado, let us begin. Let us start this exciting event this morning. Ibu Yanti, thank you so much for this time. Over to you, Ibu Yanti.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Dwi Nugroho, for your warm welcoming speech. And let's move on to our main agenda today, sharing session number 12. And I will hand over this session to Ibu Dr. Bonifasia Ekta Fima Natalia. And if I'm not mistaken, Ibu Ekta has just received her doctoral degree from doctorate degree from doctoral program of Yogyakarta State University. Congratulations, Ibu Ekta.
Thank you, Ibu Yanti.
Yeah, and for your information, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu, beside teaching at STE Solusi Business Yogyakarta, she also teaches at Poltek YKPN Yogyakarta and TOD Aviation School Yogyakarta. Ibu Ekta is also active in writing and training and also workshop, Ibu Ekta.
Yeah.
So we invite you to work together with Ibu Ekta. Okay, Ibu Ekta, the screen is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Ibu Yanti, for the time. Hello, good morning, everybody, Bapak Ibu, and also the chairwoman of Indonesian ESP teachers community, in this case, represented by Bapak Dwi Nugroho, yeah, and also all the committees of ESP teachers community, Bapak Ibu, as all participants, yeah, I'm Ekta. I would like to be your moderator during this session, yeah, the main session. Okay, I would like to give you any information. This session divided into two subsessions. The first one is the presentation of our three speakers, Ibu Komilie from Pelita Harapan, and then Bapak Adi Kristianus Kaloeti from Universitas Kristen Immanuel, and also Bapak Dr. M.Pd Sujana, M.A. From the University of Mataram, and then followed by subsections of question and answer. So at the end, if Bapak Ibu wants to give any question, and then it will be at the end of the sharing session of presentation of our three speakers. Yeah. Okay, Bapak Ibu, as I told you before, that today we have we will have very overwhelming ideas from three speakers. Yeah. The first one is Ibu Komilie Situmorang, S.Pd, M.Sc, and then I'd like to thank you for us, Ibu. And then I will tell you a little bit about her profile. Yeah, she's a lecturer at the Faculty of Nursing, Universitas Pelita Harapan Indonesia, and she also acts as the head of assessment and learning development at the Center of Language and Culture, Universitas Pelita Harapan. She's also active interpreter and translator. Yeah. Ibu Komilie graduated from English Education Program of Universitas KPP Nomensen, and she continued her master degree in the Seoul University of Bristol, UK. Yeah. Actually, her expertise on English as lingua franca, linguist, learning and identity, pragmatist in intercultural communication, and technology enhanced language and learning. Yeah. Okay, Ibu Komilie also has so many published journal articles, yeah, and reputable national, international journals that I cannot mention one by one because it's too much, too many. And she also has some teaching experiences, except as a lecturer at Universitas Harapan. She was also a teacher at EF Karangwaci Tangerang. She was also a teacher at SMP Kristen Kalam Kudus Pemantang Siantar, and also being English tutor in some academy, yeah, in Pemantang Siantar too. Okay, yeah, except that Ibu Komilie also a member of some professional association, forum and committee, yeah. And some more experiences and achievement, but because of the limited time, I cannot mention here. Yeah, Ibu Komilie. Okay, to short the time, maybe we can come to the presentation of Ibu Komilie. Yeah, she will present. Yeah, I think that this is very interesting topic. Yeah, unpacking the authentic nursing terms to the utilization of corpus linguistic. Yeah. Okay, are you there, Ibu Komilie? So I give you 20 minutes to deliver your materials. Okay, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Ibu Ekta. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here. I'm Komilie Situmorang. I'm from Universitas Pelita Harapan. Believe me, I'm no expert in anything, but Mr. Dwi dragged me here, telling me that it's a sharing session to everybody, telling what we have, best practices in our own field. So here am I saying what sharing what I did in the nursing faculty. So this is my presentation. Hang on a bit. I think I found a problem. Oh. Right, can you now see my screen? Continue to load. Is my screen now visible? Yes?
Yes, Ibu.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm using my my husband's laptop, so it's always new if it's not ours. Okay, so this is the title of my presentation today, that is unpacking the authentic nursing terms through the utilization of corpus linguistics. So that's the title. And then this is has been written and read before. So this is the overview of what I'm going to talk today. So that is the background of why am I doing this nursing terminology search, and then how I develop the authentic nursing. It's not yet a dictionary, but I would like to call it a word list. And then what is the significance of this word list to nursing education and practice? So why am I interested in searching for nursing terminology? Because the past 3 years we had just opened an international nursing program in which English is the medium instructions in it. So switching the language from Bahasa Indonesia to English is a whole new challenges. So we are thinking of how do we facilitate more resources for the students to like grab the English vocabulary as well as the lecturers, because it's a whole new world. So these are what motivates me as well. So in communication, so it would be effective, that is, we need to understand the terminology. So not to mention that Bahasa Indonesia terminology of nursing had already been difficult. Now you mention it in English, it's more challenging. As well as we know that these precise terminologies are crucial for patient safety and care practices. That is why it highlights the pivotal role for language teaching in nursing. And then we need the accurate nursing vocabulary and dictionary to facilitate the precise communication in the nursing care, as well as if we mention a word list of a dictionary, I think it kind of falls short to capture the specific terminologies in nursing. So the whole nursing vocabularies are more dynamic and more nuanced. So that calls for a specific word list or dictionary for nursing. That's why I am interested in making a word list. And then I read a bit about it, and it says that you can do that from Corpus Linguistics. However, this is a new research method, and I have no idea of what am I doing. I am just jumping into a deep pool, and now I'm searching for help because I have no idea what this Corpus Linguistic about. That's why it's a winding road to get to know this Corpus Linguistic. So it started from April 2023 when I started to think that, well, we need this word list, but how can we do that? And then on May 2023, I wrote an internal proposal funding to fund this word list search by just mentioning that I'm going to put Corpus Linguistic as a methodology, but I have no idea what's that about. And then in July 2023, I followed the Deep Scorpling Summer School. This is a very good summer school. They have it now for 2024. And it will be started, I think, around in 2 weeks. So there will be another 2024 Deep Scorpling Summer School. If you wish to join this, you can, because they're still opening the registration. And then I also registered from the MOOC class from the University of Lancaster via FutureLearn to learn about the Corpus Linguistic. And then you know that the road is getting harder when you get into the YouTube videos. So as I have followed these classes, I still don't know what am I doing. And then I jumped into YouTube, finding that what is this Corpus Linguistic? And then in the MOOC from the University of Lancaster, they teach specifically this application. It's called Langsbox, but I don't think it's easier to use. So I switched to Ankong. So this is the Corpus Linguistic application's name, and it's easier. So if you want to try later, you can just download this Ankong, and it's more easier to operate. So yeah, so I use Ankong to support my search. And then the next one, in February 2024, I'm working on journals, collecting the data to make a big data, a computer base. So I'm working on journals and working on books to try to put them into the corpus. And then in May 2024, we are establishing a word list pioneer of nursing terminology. Okay, so what is a Corpus Linguistic? I know that some of you here are expert in this, but here today to just remind us what is this Corpus Linguistic. So Corpus Linguistic is basically methodology where we are collecting big data through computer-aided analysis. So we can collect data in forms of written or utterances, and then we collect it in a big corpora. So it's more like a collection of electronic data. And then why do we use corpus linguistics to collect authentic data? Because what corpus linguistics do is that it only collect data, and then it cannot be providing negative evidences because this is just data. It doesn't speak negative. And then it cannot explain the finding, because if you give them journals, then you just analyze the journal without giving assumption. And then it only provides us with all possible languages simultaneously. So if we feed them book, so it will just analyze the books. If we feed them journals, then it will just analyze the journal. That is why it's a good way to search for the authentic vocabularies through the corpus linguistic. And then as a pilot study of my attempt to collect the nursing terminology, I collected 651 articles from the nursing journals, including these journals. They are all high accredited journals, key ones Corpus, because we want to like provide the journals from a trusted sources. And then these journals, they are basically research articles, editorials, commentaries, reviews, systematic reviews, scoping reviews. So all these journals, they are in PDF, right? So we all change them into TXT. You know, TXT is the one that you work on when you open Notepad. Everyone, I guess, knows Notepad, right? So we need to like copy all the PDF and then we put it to the Notepad and it will become TXT, because the corpus linguistic, they only read the data in TXT. So when we change that, it looks like here. So this is TXT data. So all the journals, we put it like this. If you see this, we try to code this using open bracket, text ID, and then text ID, abstract, introduction. This is basically, it has nothing to do with search. It is just for future research. Say like if one day I want to go back to only see the methodology, so I can use that to help me later in the future, but not in this project. Because in this project, I'm just going to like look at the words in whole. So if in the future I want to like look what are the words that is used in methodology, so we can count that in the frequency in the future, but not in today's project. So all this data, so we can put it in a folder and then we imported it to M.Hum. So this is the picture of an M.Hum. So this is the process of importing all TXT into the software. So you can see here, these are the names of the article, and then they are being imported to the M.Hum. So after we imported all the articles, then you can see here, the one I put in circle, that's the total tokens. So these are the tokens, like 3 million tokens. And then it's easier if we use the software, because the software basically has provided us with these features. If you can see here, KWIC, plot, file view, cluster, engram, collocate, words, keywords, and word cloud. So basically it helps us to see the bigger picture of a data. So for me, because I want to see the most frequent word that appear in journals, so I can teach my students, these are the words that you need to know. So I use this words analysis feature. So from these tokens, we found like around 50,000 words which are appear more frequently in the journals. So And then you can see the lists are like this. So this is the analysis of the M.Hum we did. But the findings are interesting because from the 50,000 words, the most frequently words appear are words which are functional, like the, and, of, to, and it has nothing to do with our nursing terminologies. As well as the frequency words, they don't recognize the verb forms, singular and plural. It's just based on the emergencies. So if there is singular, plural, they will appear a lot, like nurse, nursing, nursing, patient, patients, a lot like that. So we need to like do hand searching to pick the words which we will use in our nursing terminologies. So these are the examples of the content words we derive from our search. You can see from the 651 journals, the word health appear like 13,000 times and like these things. So these are our most findings from the search. However, we learned that, oh, this Corpus Linguistics is opening us the way to more research opportunities. Because basically, if we have the data, like very big data like these things, it means we have sources to do more research, like we can do the word frequency research, we can do styles research, we can do constructions, we can do collocation, and a lot. And these are two examples of Corpus Linguistic studies in Indonesia in terms of healthcare. So there is this Corpus Linguistic study from Hanina. So she studied the Indonesian terms of diseases. So using the tokens from sources, so we can make the sources from which year to which year. So our search will not be too broad. So she examined the language style of disease names. And then, so she could understand what is the linguistic and cultural understanding behind this disease name. So it's like cantengan and then gondongan. So she analyzes the culture behind these, the styles of the diseases. Interesting study. And also PASRI 2023 also used Corpus Linguistics to analyze the constructions of obesity in Indonesian news media. So what she did is like collecting all the obesity news media, putting it into Corpus Linguistics, and then she studied what is behind the contraction of obesity in Indonesian news media. So this is the takeaway I learned from learning this Corpus Linguistics, that it opens a lot of opportunity to study the research, particularly if you are on linguistics and culture. But what happened to my pilot word list? So we short the frequency words before, the 50,000 words, by distilling the content words from the functional words. And then we use cluster analysis to find the word patterns. So for example, there is health. So what is this word usually surrounding it? So healthcare, health facility. So we could find it through the cluster analysis. This is the example of a cluster analysis. You can just put your words here, down here, health, and it will show you that the word health are having cluster like 578 words with this word. So it's an interesting way to find out if you are interested in word formation. And then this is the KWIC, which is keyword in context, which you can see what does it mean, the healthcare, in a sentence, in a context. So more studies can be done through this one. And
sorry,
we plan, yes.
Ibu Komilie, yeah, your time is 5 minutes more, 3 minutes more. Yes,
3 minutes more. Okay, I'll just go next. Okay, we'll talk about this later if you're interested in question session. But the thing is, my pilot word list, they're more like academic nursing word list, which is not the vocabulary I wanted to see, because they will be more helpful to make students able to write in academic nursing journals more than to support them in classroom, because the finding are like this. So it more like words like this. So these are general academic words, and this is not what I'm looking for. Therefore, we try to like, oh, this is not what we're studying, because this study has been conducted by the same researcher before, and they find the same finding like I did. What happened? It's stress everywhere. Because when you know that your finding is not new, it's just like, oh no, stressing over. And then we're restarting again by changing, not going into the journals, but we go into the nursing books. So we collected 11 nursing books, which we use in our faculty. These are the books. And then we change it into TXT, creating a new corpus of 5 million words. And then we analyze the frequency and we find like 7,000 words. We then use the help of 15 nursing students to help us manually pick the words. And we try to like distill the words, and we arrange the words into lists, and we give the definition through hand searching in Google, through textbook, and through AI help. We can talk about this again later. So we translated the drop of the word and give them the meaning, and then we are giving it to the nursing expertise, the expert, to check the content. So now that works. We find the words that are what we're looking for. And then by this time you say, I love research, because we find what we need to find out. And then what happened then? These are the things that we have done. So if we can see here, these are the words that we sort from the Corpus linguistic. We started to sort from A, and then these words are specifically related to nursing terminologies. And we put it from A, B, C alphabetically, and then we count the words here, and we provided the references of from where we get the definition. Okay, and these are the draft of the word list that we're going to publish soon. If you can see here, we have already given the Bahasa Indonesia under the nursing terms. And then these are the drops that we had worked together with the students. So students are having like A, B, C, D. We distribute them so we can get help to do the definition. And then as well as these are the significances and the updates. So these words, we believe that it will contribute to the teaching and learning process, particularly in the nursing program in UPH, because we have already given the pool of word lists that could be useful later for material design, for tests, and future dictionaries, hopefully. And then we unpack the importance of having the nursing dictionary that provides authentic words for nursing education to support the students, the lecturers, and nurses in practice. And these words are still in early development, but we believe that they have marked crucial trajectories in the word list establishment. And these word lists are going to be published around September 2024 through the UPH Press. And then the methodology of word list creation through Corpus Linguistics is generalizable across ESP disciplines. So if you, Bapak, Ibu, are in engineering, or say English for tourism or English for other things, I think it's generalizable to use these techniques to derive original terms in your own disciplines. All right, so that's it. Thank you very much. I hope I don't take that much of time, Ibu Ekta.
Okay, well, you know that I'm shaking. I was shaking when I listened that, my research has already done by the other researchers.
Yeah, you know that feeling, right?
And I can feel you. Yeah. Thank you, Ibu Komilie. It's such an interesting topic that you have already shared to us. I hope that it was beneficial for us. Actually, there are so many questions that I want to ask you, and it will be the same with the other participants here. So, Bapak Ibu, please be patient. When you want to ask that question, give question, you can write down in the checkbox, or maybe later in a question and answer subsession, you can raise your hand and use your microphone to ask. Okay. Yes. In this for the second speaker, we will have Bapak Ade Kristianus Kaloeti. Yeah. Good morning, Bapak Ade. Nice to see you. Yeah. He is also in Jogja, the same town with me. Yeah. But we have met before, I think. Yeah, Pak Ade.
Yeah, I know your husband, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Because he also.
Yeah, send my warm regards to Professor Reddy, Dr. Reddy.
Yeah, in Ugrim, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, Bapak Ibu, I will read Bapak Ade's curriculum vitae. Yeah, he obtained his bachelor degree in English language literature of University of Diponegoro. Yeah, and then he completed his master of linguistics in Gadjah Mada University. He also has some working experiences, yeah, as a lecturer in Christian Immanuel University until now, yeah, and present. And then he is also ESP instructor in Bambini International School, Makassar, yeah, 2020 to 2022. And then he was also an English lecturer in LP3 College, Jakarta. Active being TOEFL and IELTS instructor in LD Yogyakarta, and he also already published many journal articles related to English teaching and education, especially ESP, yeah, ESP for economics, yeah, Pak Ade.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So before yeah, to shorten the time, Bapak Ade will present his topic on unraveling challenges by non-English students in improving English skills in preparation for TOEFL and IELTS exam. Yeah, it will be 20 minutes to present, Pak Ade. Yeah, so the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And today I would like to introduce myself again. My name is Ade. You can just call me that. And then I was born in Ujung Pandang. It used to be Ujung Pandang, now in Makassar. Actually, I have been living in Yogyakarta like for 17 years, quite long. And now I'm here in Christian Immanuel University teaching English for all majors. So I'm responsible for the English competency for all students in Christian Immanuel University. And maybe for your information, we don't have any English majors in Christian Immanuel University. So I'm the only one lecturer that is responsible for this English competency. And for today, I would like to bring up maybe not a really interesting topic, maybe because we have heard it a lot, TOEFL and IELTS, but perhaps I would like to bring this up since right now, currently, I'm having a class with students. We have a program, we have a partnership with an institution in Germany, and we are trying to send our students there, three of our students, to be in the collaborative projects with let me give you the background. It's called RISE, Research Internships in Science and Engineering, RISE in Germany. So we would like to send our students, especially from informatics major, and then they will collaborate with some students there. And then the institution itself from Germany already sent one of the representatives. So his name is Timo, and he currently is staying with us for 6 months for some collaborative projects in terms of informatics and technology. Okay. May I have my PPT for the admin? I already sent it. Thank you. And I would like to apologize if you hear any voice of little girl behind me. That will be my daughter. She is like 1 year old, and then she keeps waving at me. Okay, and then yeah. All right. My PPT, please. Okay. May I ask for some help to put my slides on? Thank you.
I will help you, Pak Ade. Would you mind to wait a bit?
Yeah, yeah.
I've got it, Bu Ernie, so probably we can start. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
So, okay, now the topic is quite interesting, but okay, unraveling challenges by non-English students in improving English skills in preparation for the TOEFL and IELTS exam. So, ladies and gentlemen, let alone the TOEFL and IELTS itself. So, when we talk about the English skills among our students, okay, we already know their capability. So, perhaps English is something that probably too scary for them. I always got that impression from all of my classes that they are not confident with their English skills, let alone they are clueless about what TOEFL is and what IELTS is. And then when I tell them the description of this TOEFL, and then they will become more scared. And then that will be a big and huge challenge for me as the English lecturer here to make sure that they are able to do this, especially for those students who are highly interested in taking a part in some international programs like a student exchange, because for the upcoming plan in our university, we are planning to send more our students to international universities abroad, perhaps probably in like Germany or maybe Australia for some collaboration and partnerships. Okay, next please. Okay. So who are non-English students? So you have to define them first, everyone. Like students who are not specializing in English or related subjects that are mandated to acquire English as a second language, or perhaps we can call them as individuals that maybe might encounter challenges in fostering self-directed learning and enhancing their English skills beyond the confines of the classroom. So we're not talking about the classroom itself, because when we talk about the English class in the university, the numbers are limited. Yeah. For example, in our university, English is just given like twice, like one in the odd semester and one in the even semester. So perhaps in my experience, that would not be enough, especially for those students who expresses like inconfidence in their skills of English. So okay, now in today's globalized world, having sufficient English language competency is highly important, and that is true. At the university's level, this ability is becoming more and more essential for all students, regardless of their background. So, students without a background in English studies undoubtedly encounter different difficulties than those with an English studies background. So, when you want to compare some of the students in with non-English background and non-English background, you will find it much easier to deliver the English class to those who got like English at least when they are in like pendidikan bahasa Inggris, or perhaps in the English literature, sastra Inggris, and whatever related to English, like linguistic students. And moreover, when you want to deliver English class to some non-English students, like from informatics, management, like what I have now, and perhaps like far beyond language, maybe like physics, something like that. So it's going to be quite challenging. Okay, next, please. Now, why TOEFL and IELTS? So, okay, in the university, we offer some TOEFL and IELTS for students for several reasons. Okay, maybe for the first purpose will be to qualify for international scholarships, and then also to participate in international activities such as student exchange, summer program, we are having it right now, and then international seminars or competitions. Okay, for the next plan, we are planning to send our students to join on the English debate competition, and this could be a good experience for them to feel the vibes of English in the terms of competition. And also, I believe some of the study program in some institution require them to have the TOEFL score as the graduation requirements for the UDCUM, maybe like that. And maybe for several study program, they have their own standard, maybe 450 for TOEFL, maybe beyond that, maybe like 500 for those who are English students related to the major. And also, maybe the most important purpose is to enhance English language proficiency for job entrance exam preparation, because after this, after they graduate, we expect them to be fully equipped with the English competency. So they are globally ready, okay, to compete with other students who also graduate from other institutions. Okay. And then TOEFL and IELTS are becoming increasingly popular among academics, including students. And then this has become something feared, even though these two tests are recognized as one of the important requirements to be fulfilled for various academic and also non-academic purposes that I just mentioned to you before. All right, next please. Now, we are going to maybe remind ourselves again about the various English educational testing services, or ETS. Like we have like TOEFL PBT. For your information, TOEFL PBT is no longer valid, since this is like the old product. Okay, I believe some of us have done this in the past, and then it's just like a paper-based test. And then maybe for our information, this is no longer valid for applying scholarship, since now TOEFL IBT and TOEFL ITP are the ones that are recognized by some international institution for scholarship application, or even like international event or program. And also for the recent one, TOEFL CBT in computer-based test, this is the one that adapted by the universities to do the TOEFL IBT. And then for TOEIC, for this one is more into the vocational education for Diploma 3 and Diploma 4, as they are required to do the practices in their field. And TOEIC is also more relevant to those who want to apply a job. Okay, next please. Okay, now, so IELTS itself is something that still introduced like in the early of 2000, something like that. And then, if I'm not mistaken, in 1980 something, administrated by British Council, IDP Education, Cambridge Assessment English, and also it can be divided into two kinds of tests. It will be academic for applying scholarship, or even like continuing studies into the master degree and doctoral degree abroad. And also for the general one, for applying visa, if you want to work in other countries, or perhaps staying for a longer time in several foreign countries, like such as Australia, or even the European countries like UK and other countries. Okay, now applicants of, maybe this is for your information, for domestic master program must achieve a minimum English language proficiency score of TOEFL ITP 500. And also for the TOEFL IBT is 61 from 120. And for the PT academic 15, or IELTS 6.0. And applicants for the international master program must achieve minimum English language proficiency score of TOEFL IBT 80, and also like for the IELTS 6.5. Okay, let me tell you this. Believe me when I say this. When I gave this information to students, and then they will be like stunned. And then I can see the horror in their face. And then some of them raise their hand, and then even dare ask me, is it possible for us to achieve that score? You can see that their motivation is already lacking, everyone. So maybe our job, the main job is not giving them the theories, but maybe more into the motivation that they are capable of doing this. They can do this. Okay, next. Now this is the maximum score. If I have to display it in the diagram table, like for the scholarship and international students exchange, that those will be the requirements that they have to fulfill if they want to participate in some international students exchange or scholarship. Next, please. Now, for the skills management itself, if we relate into the English skills, TOEFL PBT will be more into the listening, reading, and structured written expression. And then if you see it more, like TOEFL IBT, CBT, and IELTS, they incorporate the speaking skill in the test, and then that will require them some fluency in using English, and also not only in the verbally, but also in the written expression. Okay, next, please. Now, okay, so this is the one that I did before. I conducted a study, a research on TOEFL IELTS topic with 100 participants, students from different non-English majors. to explore their perceptions and challenges in preparing for the TOEFL or IELTS exam. So you may see by yourself, everyone, that speaking, okay, speaking is the skill that most students express the most challenging English language. So okay, this is quite surprising, okay, because the assumption that has always been that structure and grammar will be the hardest one and maybe the most feared one. So this could be like interesting point that I would like to dig more about why they mention about speaking and rather than structure or written expression. Okay, and moreover, next please. So the most important skill in English for students. So majority of them answer speaking again. So the when I asked them directly why you chose speaking as the one, because they believe that after they graduated, this skill will be more important. So they are like lack of awareness that perhaps they will encounter some tests in English that if they want to continue their education in some abroad institution, or perhaps that if they want to participate in some international program, and then therefore grammar is viewed as unimportant to be proficient in English. So okay, this presents a challenge as grammar is vital to master due to TOEFL and IELTS predominantly covering formal academic content that places great importance on formal and standard grammar. Maybe most of us will agree on that, because if you take like IELTS in academic style, you will encounter more sophisticated vocabularies, and also in terms of academic style, and also the writing itself. If you write, and then if you want to express yourself in the speaking, or even like if you respond to some utterances including to the listening, like that. Okay, next please. Now, now let's talk about the external factors that may influence them about this topic. So does the department provide enough facilities and training to improve English skill among students? And then I would not be surprised to see the result here, because majority of them say no. All right. Okay. And then this may be the evidence of how important for the institution to provide them some facilities, some training, or even like some events, or perhaps that they have to put extra course, extra credits for them to master the skills that they need to do the TOEFL or even the IELTS test. Okay, just like that. Next, please. Now, another question, does the department encourage you to use English in class and other activities at campus? And then the answer probably no. And when I observed this condition, I found that most lecturers prefer to use Bahasa Indonesia, which I believe that is understandable. Okay, since the standard language in most classes here in Bahasa Indonesia. But when I ask some of them, they feel like they will understand more if the lecturers will present or even like give the material in English, since the major it will be more into like English vocabulary, like informatics, or even like in the management or in the accounting, because most words there coming from the English language. Okay, and then I asked again about the reason why they feel like they have no support. Yeah, they have no support from the lecturers in using English frequently in the class or even in the outside class, because they believe that the students will feel more confused when the material is presented in English, even though they are willing to learn English. So this is like contradicting their statement, and then I would like to have more research on this condition. Next, please.
Excuse me, Pak Ade.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes more,
Yeah.
And
Thank
run
you.
to the result and discussions.
Okay, thank you. Next, please. Okay. So, does the English course subject that you have taken improve your English skills? So this is relating to the webinar or even like free online that we already know existed in some in the internet, that they offer some free tuition or even like in a low cost budget for them to improve their English in terms of preparing for them for TOEFL and IELTS. And then they believe that courses absolutely didn't give any significant impact to their English skills, so which is very surprising because this must be clear by the institution itself that they must provide a high quality training for them to make sure that they have got competency in English in preparing for them for the TOEFL and IELTS. Next, please. Okay, next, please. This is similar to what I mentioned before. So this is the most important question. Are you familiar with the system and scoring TOEFL and IELTS? Most probably they said no. And this comes to my impression that they have no idea what they are encountering. So now it's very important for us to socialize this first, maybe in the English class or even like in the certain class that require them to fully master the English skill like that. Okay, next please. Now, is taking TOEFL IELTS not necessary for college students? So this is like a trap question. Is taking TOEFL IELTS not necessary? And most of them say, yeah, no. So it means that for them, this is very important. Okay, thank God that they still view this as the important thing that they must do for their competency skills in English. Next. Now, what are the suggestions that I got from this survey? That it is essential for institutions to enhance students' English proficiency by arranging training sessions and supplementary classes that concentrate only on preparing for TOEFL, IELTS, and exams. So most of the classes that I have for a while now mostly focuses on their majors. So maybe if not majors, more into the conversational skills like that. And it is essential for colleges to have specialized language service center to provide English language training in preparation for taking the TOEFL or IELTS exams by students. When I said this, I mean UPT Bahasa or something that we call like a study language center. Okay, I believe most universities already have that, but several institutions, maybe like small institutions, they still do not have this kind of language center. So this is going to be very crucial for them, since the students will find other ways for them to improve their English when the institution require them to have like TOEFL certificate for the graduation requirements. And also, it is essential for the campus to ensure that students are well versed in using English for communication and accessing course materials such as articles in international journals. As we already know, the literacy rate in our students is so low. Even like for in Bahasa Indonesia, in article in Bahasa Indonesia, they are hesitate. They hesitate to read them, and then that will influence them in terms of vocabulary, especially in the academic vocabulary. And also, it is essential to conduct both a pre-test and post-test in every TOEFL and IELTS training session, if they have one, to assess the improvement and preparedness of students for a TOEFL examination. I have done this in my recent research, and I have published this, and then I found that the skills in TOEFL and IELTS for them is very influenced by the external factors, which is some lack of motivation and also lack of support from the institution itself. Okay, next, the last one for my material. And this one is UPT Bahasa. So most public and private universities have language centers on UPT Bahasa that offer English language development services through their training courses as well as digital and hard copy material. But however, in some studies stated by Irawan that the impact of the UPT Bahasa on the academic community as a whole is unsatisfactory. So this is quite surprising. The students are dissatisfied with the teaching methods provided by the language center when it comes to English language course services. So this should be the evaluation for every instructor that placed in the UPT Bahasa to make sure that the services that are given to the students are sufficient enough for the sake of the English competency that they possess to prepare for them for the TOEFL and IELTS tests. Okay, thank you for listening for my material. I hope this will be a very good view for us in terms of enhancing our student skill in English, so they are more prepared in having TOEFL and IELTS exam, maybe in a certain occasion or for certain purposes. Thank you.
ideas and experience, yeah, Pak
Yeah.
Ade, that your students have many challenges, and as a lecturer, we have to not only give any kind of practice or theory, but also motivation, yeah, because Ukrim hasn't got any trainings for that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bapak Ibu, yeah, before I forget, maybe we can have what is it, photo sessions once again, because in the beginning, some of you hasn't opened your camera, yeah. Maybe Ibu Yanti, it can be after the Q&A subsession, is it right? I mean the photo session, is it right, Ibu Yanti?
Bu Yeni told me that I think it's better now.
Okay, yes, and I hope the participants, you can open your camera if it is possible.
I will count for the first slide. Some of you haven't. Okay, I will still wait for it. Yeah, we'll count for the first slide. 1, 2, 3. Second one. Okay. First. Can I have your freestyles one?
Freestyle.
Freestyle.
Okay.
Okay. Can I count it?
Yes.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
2, 3. Okay. Are we done?
Yeah, because I think it's lacking in my, I have a glitch in my connection.
Okay. Should we do it again? No? Enough?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Yeni. Let's go back to Ibu Ekta.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody, Bapak Ibu. Let's go to the third speaker, because I think that Bapak Made is already here. Yeah. Let me to read his CV. Yeah. Bapak Dr. Immanuel Sujana, MA, is a lecturer in the University of Mataram, and he is interested in ESP curriculum and materials development, and then English grammar, language assessment, and also game-based instruction. His education from English Education Program, Faculty of Education of University of Mataram, and then he also took a master degree in School of English, Linguistics and Media of Macquarie University, Sydney, Australia. And he has so many teaching experiences. Yeah. Besides as a lecturer at University of Mataram, he also currently had some position as a head of LPMPP, yeah, in Universitas of Mataram, University of Mataram, and then he is also a head of language center in University of Mataram too. He's also beneficiary of some grants. Yeah, in this case, is syllabus design using theme-based approach, aktualisasi budaya lokal dalam pembentukan SDM pariwisata yang unggul dan inovatif, designing teaching English for students of medicine based on S.Pd, and then development on RAM clinic for language learning. To support the improvement of student language proficiency. It seems that Pak Made has so many expertise in English for medical, yeah, Pak Made, yeah. And then right now he's going to present his experience on a standard point model in conducting needs analysis to promote authentic task and tags in designing ESP program. Well, I'm going to invite Pak Made. Yeah, Pak Made, yeah? Okay, Pak Made.
Okay.
Yeah, the screen is yours, Pak Made, and your time will be 20 minutes to deliver your presentation, and we will continue with question. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Bu Ekta, for your time, and thank you very much for the committee for inviting me to be in this session forum. So this is for the first time for me to talk in this kind of session, and so I need to say that I'm not a kind of expert in ESP, but more on practitioners in ESP. So let me share my screen first. Okay, I'm not allowed to share screen, Bu Ekta.
Sorry, maybe you can send the file.
I've sent to Bu Uker, is it?
Okay.
Is it here?
Yes.
Can you try again, Pak Made? I already opened the access.
Okay.
Okay, Bapak Ibu, while waiting for the screen, Pak Made's screens, and then I just to remind you to give questions in chat box. Yeah, some of them already write it down in a chat box, but you can give a question directly.
Sorry,
And
Bu
by
Ekta.
opening, yes, Pak Made.
There is no icon to allow me to share my screen. Can committee share it for me, please?
Okay, yes, I will ask. Bu Uke ya, Bu Uke ya. Okay. Sorry, Pak Made, maybe you can send the file in chat box, maybe. Okay. For the committee. Okay, well, it's already presented well, Pak Made.
Okay, so my session today will be about my experiences in conducting research and also teaching and learning process. Okay. Okay, so the title of my presentation is Standpoint Model in Conducting Needs Analysis to Promote Authenticity. So for this material, so will be given in some points here dealing with the topic. Can you move to the point, please? Okay, so the topic for this presentation will be the first one. I will talk about briefly about contribution of ESP in ELT, especially for the one related to the model that I present here, that dealing with authenticity and also needs analysis. And the second one, so I will introduce dealing with standpoint model in conducting needs analysis, and also the opinion or inspiration for using standpoint model in my students' research. So this is part of our collaborative research between lecturers at the University of Mataram and also as part of Skripsi for my students. And next one, I will show some sample of conducting needs analysis using standpoint model, and the last one, I provide sample and also stages in conducting needs analysis. Next, please. So wait a minute. Okay, so this is kind of a theory that I use in order to uh, introduce this model. The first one dealing with, as we know, that ESP, that kind of approach for designing courses based on learners' needs. So I use the simplest definition for ESP by Hutchinson and Waters, 2010. Actually, the original book is 1987. I think all practitioners in ESP know that this is a kind of core book in ESP. So what I quote here, dealing with the contribution for ESP in ELT. So I quote here needs analysis. So ESP cannot be separated from needs analysis, as I use the strongest claims made by Brown 2016 that there is no ESP if there is no needs analysis. So that's the strongest claim, although every expert claims about the needs of conducting needs analysis prior to designing ESP program. And the second one, other contribution of ESP dealing with the concept of authenticity, in this case, authentic text and authentic task. So how to bring outside world to class by through authentic task and authentic text. So I quote is from Anthony Woodrow, Busterman, and also Tomlinson much talk about the importance of authenticity. So these two concepts raise what is called as standpoint models. So standpoint model often misunderstood by my student by saying that's kind of standpoint mean point of view. It is not point of view in the sense of social sciences, but more on where the practitioners, where the workers stand up when they have to perform the job. That's the meaning of standpoint. So that's just in order to clarify, not to be confused with the standpoint in social sciences, which mean that point of view. So that's the point. So definition of standpoint here, so I will repeat that again later. Can you go to next slide, please? Okay, so this is a definition of standpoint that I use in this model. So a model to needs analysis by identifying movement. So here we know movement will be fixed because the one theory that I use in order to develop this is Shang script. Maybe you are familiar with this theory. And also storyline, which is authentic text. Movement here is authentic tasks here, or professional workers performing their job. Okay, this model is suitable for designing courses for localized or centralized or kind of area with fixed movement. Say, for example, when we design preparing tour guide in Borobudur, for example, in Bali, we have Besakeh Temple. So we will have a kind of fixed movement in order to guide our clients. So that's this model is suitable for that kind of situation. It's more on specific. So if you want to train tour guide in Prambanan Temple, for example, you can design by using this kind of models here. Next, please. So what inspired me in order to develop this standpoint model? So the first one, dealing with professional experience. I was a tour guide for more or less 2 years in Bali when I just finished my study in 1989. So because I was jobless at the time, so I applied for to be tour guide in Bali. So from this experience, so I feel a kind of what is kind of a boring experiences in terms of that we talk about the same thing every time we handle our client. So that's an experience that I use. say, for example, when I visited Besakeh Temple, so I will talk about the same thing, stand up in the same place for day to day when I handle a group of tourists. So that's the basic concept that I use in developing this one. And the second one, that experience happened again when I so my experience now 33 years being lecturers and teaching kind of parallel classes. So I found the same thing. So maybe you also feel when you teach a same class, a different class in one semester. So like I'm teaching now 11 ESP classes. So you can imagine that how I feel for weeks that I have to speak the same thing by using the same material, the same jokes from class to class, 11 classes for ESP class in my study program. So from the two experiences as a tour guide and as a lecturer at university, I conclude that a professional job is a kind of robot-like and monotonous job in one side. So maybe you have the same experience as I do, that the professional job is very robot-like. We will do the same thing. We use the same material by using the same illustration. So that's the concept that I use here. That's from professional experiences. And from theory point of view, so here the standpoint model is inspired by the first one dealing with teaching English needs to fulfill learners' needs, that ESP concept. And the second one, we have to conduct needs analysis prior to designing courses. And also dealing with the concept of authenticity, how we bring outside world to our class. And also through classic theory that I use here dealing with the Barthet schema theory. So we have in our life, we have a kind of script in order to do things. So that two theory, the schema theory and Sang script theory. So that's the basis for the theory that I use in order to develop this standpoint. So the biggest contribution that I feel here that we try to look at from authenticity point of view. So standpoint model, next one, please. Next slide, please. So standpoint model proposed two authentic tasks, the kind of genuine activity or communication that mirror real life communication needs. So when we handle our tourists, for example, we have a kind of pattern or activities or communication, which is the same thing, and we stand up in the same position every time, more or less in the same position. I didn't say that a kind of exact position, but more or less exact position. And then the second one, we will talk about the same thing. So we use same material for certain places. Say, for example, when we come to the main gate, so we will talk about overall or general concept about tourism that we lead. For example, one of our research with students in Sada village in Lombok, for example. So there will be the same material explained every time, not every day, but every time we handle our tourists. Maybe in one day we have a kind of 5 groups. We will talk about this 5 times. So that's the concept: authentic task and authentic text. And then what are the stages of conducting needs analysis using standpoint model? Next slide, please. Okay, we use this kind of stages. The first one, of course, we have to determine our target group, so or location of the target group that we want to design here. So there are 3 stages, 3 main stages here. The first one, collecting data, and the second one doing instructional analysis, and the third one syllabus design by using this pattern. So the first one, after we determine our target group, so we have to draw map first, map of the location. Say, for example, if we want to design English course for tourism practitioners at Borobudur, we have to write map of Borobudur tourism first. So from that, we will investigate standpoints where the tour guide stand up and what kind of responsibility, what kind of duties perform in that standpoint. So here, for the first one, we will investigate where the tour guide stand up and what they talk about in that point, and then move to other standpoint 2. So we have to identify what they talk about. And then from this standpoint, so we have to find where to stand up and also what they talk about here, which is called, I call it a storyline or authentic text. So that's process of data collection. And the second one in instructional analysis, so we have to translate tasks or duties into competencies. So, into communicative needs first. So the task here refer to a kind of job that must be performed by a tour guide, for example, that's task. And we have to translate this task into communicative needs from job to language use. So the way we do that, in my article, I wrote dealing with the process of translating from tasks must be formulated in ing form. For example, welcoming and registering guests. That's one, just a simple example. Welcoming and registering. So responsibilities or tasks or duties must be in ing form. And how do we change this into communicative needs? Just change the ing form into ability form. I call it ability form. We can use can, we can use how to, we can use ability to, capable of, or whichever we use in consistent way. Once we use can, we have to use can all the time. So say, for example, from one of receptionists, for example, dealing with this model, can welcoming and registering guests become can welcome and register guests. So that's a simple translation, which is one-to-one relationship. One responsibility will be one communicative needs. So here the difference here is duties as job and communicative needs is what kind of language use in order to be able to perform that responsibility. So we use that by using ability form. And then from communicative needs, we then translate or develop or broken down into competencies. Maybe you can imagine communicative needs just the same as basic competencies or competency dasar in our SMA curriculum or school curriculum, while competencies will become a kind of achievement indicators. So the theory that I use in order to develop from communicative needs into competencies by using completeness and correctness. Are the development processes here complete or correct? So that's two theory that I use, that the development, the broken down must be complete, correct at the same time complete. So that's other theory in ELT lesson plan development. And I use that development from basic competencies into achievement indicator must be correct and complete. That's the theory. So from this point,
so sorry, yeah, to disturb you. Your time will be less than 3 minutes left. Maybe you can jump
okay.
to the result of your.
Okay. Okay, so for the rest will be just examples. So I will skip that point. So, and then next stages will be determining learning material. So the way to find learning material by omitting a verb in competencies become materials. In this case, from sentence or clause into noun phrase. So that's the theory that we use when we introduce them to our ESP students. Next one, please. Okay, so data collection procedure here just the same. So I think we need to use kind of triangulation technique: observation, interview, focus group discussion, and so on. Can you skip to the sample of? Okay, this sample of needs analysis using standpoint. The first thing that we have to do is to draw map, or maybe we can take a picture from map display in the front gate of tourism area that we want to design. So from here we identify. So next one is the example. Can you show next slide, please? So this is the example of standpoint task. So we start from standpoint 1 at the main gate. So the task here, they're explaining general overview about Narmada Park that I use here. And then storyline will be general information about Narmada Park, history, man, and also information about Narmada Park here. So so we identify first standpoint, and then the tour guide will move to this place, and then move to this place, and then we identify the task. We take note of the task that we use. Next one, please. Okay, so there's development from responsibilities into communicative needs. So as I said here, responsibility represented by ing form here. It must be consistent in ing form, and then transfer into one-to-one relationship by using ability form here. So explaining general overview about Narmada Park, and then here become ability to explain general overview about. So that's consistent to use the same thing. If we have 7 on responsibility, will be 7 on communicative needs. Next one, please. Okay, the development of communicative needs. So here, one communicative needs become several competencies by using correctness and completeness theory. So whether the breaking down of these communicative needs fulfill that they are correct at the same time complete. So that's so we develop just the same as how to develop KADIB, competency dasar, become achievement indicators in school curriculum. Next one, please. Okay, competency into learning material. So as I said here, the simplest way to find learning materials by taking out the object of the competency. So for example, for the first one, can explain about the history of Narmada Park. So we omit a verb, become noun phrase, the history of Narmada Park. That's the theory we use. There is a kind of pattern that student needs to use in order to develop competencies into learning material. So as you see here, that all were taken from competencies. Next one, please. Okay, so that's a conclusion. The concluding remark from here: conducting needs analysis using this point can be divided into 3 main stages: finding target needs, doing instructional analysis, and designing syllabus. And application of standpoint model in conducting needs analysis bring outside worlds what happened in the field, and then we try to adopt to teaching and learning process in terms of authentic tasks and authentic text. Next one. So these are collaborative research with our student. You need a sample from our student that they finished their study, and now we still have 4 students working on this area by using different places. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation. I hope it will raise a kind of contribution to our daily work as practitioners in ESP more. Okay, I give it back to Bu. Thank you.
Yeah, Yeah, thank you so much, Pak Made. Indeed, that it will be beneficial for us, yeah, because of your valuable insight, yeah. Thank you, the speakers, Bu Komilie, Pak Ade, and Pak Made. And here we got some questions in the chat box, yeah. To make it short, let's go to the question and answer. Bapak Ibu, you may open your microphone if you want to ask something or maybe give comments to the speakers. Okay, maybe I will read the questions. Yeah, the questions from Ibu Ratna. Yeah, Ratna. Dewanti Ratna Pertiwi. Yeah, the question is for Pak Made. Pak Made,
Yeah.
Bu Anna ask you about, it is a bit of the out of the
For
topic.
Pak
I'm
Ade.
curious about it. Yeah,
Sorry,
For
Pak
Pak Ade.
Made. Pak Ade.
Pak Ade, yeah.
Ade.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Bu Nana. Sorry. For Pak Ade, yeah. Okay. She's curious about intercultural communicative competence, fostering the student internship to Germany, because Pak Ade also talked about the activity of a student internship to Germany, yeah, Mbak Nana. That's why you curious about that. Maybe Pak Ade, would you please to directly answer the question of Ibu Nana?
Thank you, Bu Ekta. Thank you also for Bu Ratna. Yeah. For the question. So, Bu Ratna, I also have one session about this skill, intercultural competencies, communicative competencies, because this is related to the how to comprehend the various cultures, including one of our culture itself. So we can utilize all of those knowledges about the culture, and then we can have more interactions with foreigners, and we can understand them better in terms of their culture through the language. Now, for internship to Germany, we have this habit, and then for the institution itself, the Ulm College of Applied Sciences in Ulm, Germany, Ulm, that's how they pronounce it. Okay, Ulm, the institution itself, they send perhaps like 2 or 3 one of their students to our university. So they will stay with us like for several months, and then they interact with our students, especially to those students who are interested in this kind of internship. And recently we had an English camp, and that opportunity provide a big chance for the students to have more interactions to the students from Germany who were sent by their institution. So they will have like more sharing sessions about their culture. They will understand better each other, and then they will tell about the academic life and the unspoken rules in Germany and how they can like survive, because it's going to be a culture shock for sure for them, and then perhaps they will be more ready and not to be more afraid. Then they will like be more interested, and then they will be like okay, oh okay, this is how it feels like to study for several months in foreign institutions. And then for that only, I can say that intercultural communicative competence is very important. Yes, it's true. Besides giving them a proper training, and also like in terms of TOEFL and IELTS, and this is what I also mentioned before. It's not all about theory. Sometimes you must pay attention to also to their motivation, psychological side of them. So if they are ready or not to be involved in a massive international environment. So I think that's all about my input for the question. Thank you so much for the question. Are you interested in the internship of Germany? Please call me. Okay, we have so many opportunities. We have so
Yeah.
many opportunities to be over if you are interested. Okay.
Intercultural communicative competence is the topic of my future dissertation. That's why I'm curious about that area. Thank you, Bapak.
If you need more data, just contact me. I will provide you.
Okay, okay. I will chat you later. Thank you so much for the answer.
Thank you, Bu Dewanti.
Yeah, yeah. This is one of our point. Yeah, having ESP sharing section, so we can have so many opportunity to collaborate. Yeah, thank you Pak Ade for the answer. I hope that the answer can make Ibu Ratna, Ibu Nana satisfied. And then next question comes to Pak Pak Rudi. Yeah, Pak Rudi, you raise your hand. Maybe you can offer.
All right. Thank you, Bu Bonif. Can you hear my
Pak
voice
Rudi, maybe it is
clearly?
better for you to mention your affiliation.
All right. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's quite clear, Pak Rudi.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Muhammad Rudi from Malahayati University in Lampung. And I address my question to Ibu Komilie because I have similar interest in corpus. I guess Bu Bonifasia also did a kind of research in corpus. I still remember your presentation last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
relates to aviation corpus. Yeah.
yes, yeah, and I am related to pharmacy, still in the health sector. Bu Komilie, I'm sorry, there are two daughters here. Did you? My question is, what is your focus for the skills? What kind of skills did you focus that direct you to create that word list? I suppose your skills to focus is writing and reading, I guess. And then the second question for Bu Komilie is, how did you do the selection? I mean the elimination. How did you do that? Because when you take the data from the textbook, there are many unwanted data that included in the txt files. So how did you do the selection? Is there was there someone help you to do that? That's the question for Bu Komilie. Actually, for Pak Mada, I need more. What is that? A complete explanation, but still need more time for me. Maybe for the suggestion for the committee for the next meeting, you need to add the duration for each presentation. Yeah.
Okay, Pak. Can you remind me the first
Thank you
question?
very much.
What was the first question? The voice is breaking up.
If I'm not mistaken, relates to the skills, yeah, because you pay attention on reading skills. Is that right, Pak Rudi?
Sure. Yeah, I think I got that. So for this project, I wasn't targeting for any skills because our goals was to
What kind of skills do you want to improve, Bu Komilie? Yeah.
So for this project, I don't target any specific skills because our goals was to collect as much as the nursing terminology. So probably it could be for the future because as you said, we can target like to improve the speaking, to improve the writing or anything else. But for this project only, we are only targeting as much as vocabulary that we could get. And then as I have told before in the significance, so this could be later, if we have already this large word list, then we can use it specifically in teaching vocabulary, in teaching reading, or in teaching writing. But in the beginning, there is no target for what skills we want to develop. So yes, that's probably a good perspective for future research regarding the corpus linguistic. And the second questions, yes, true, because if we are mentioned like a book, it has forward, it has table of contents and some of these things. So I mentioned before, I used the help of 15 nursing students to help me changing the PDF into the TXT. And then what they do is that they separate this part. So they only like take the contents from chapter 1 to the end. So we don't analyze the table of contents as well as the publisher and stuff like that. So only from chapter 1 to the end. And for the journal, as I have mentioned before, so in the first project we did journals, but for the journals we coded based on the title, and then introduction, abstract, methodology, we code it for future research. Suppose we want to like only analyze the methodology part in the journals, then we can have access to that. So yeah, basically that's what we did, Pak Rudy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is it answer your question, Pak Rudy? Yeah, Ibu Komilie, it is very interesting because it is a big project, yeah, actually to do that. So you collaborate with another, but not only participant but also practitioners, yeah. Okay. Well, here's some question actually to Ibu Komilie, but it's already written in chat box, yeah. From Ibu Yani Wulandari, yeah. She asked about the reason why you're interested in corpus linguistic, yeah. And then also she wants to know about the obstacles, yeah, that you found in the research projects, yeah. But you have already answered the question in the chat box too. But if you're willing to, maybe you can answer two questions at once, yeah. If you come.
All right. So yes,
Okay.
corpus linguistic is basically new thing to me. It's so unique because whole of this time I'm doing lingua franca, English medium instruction. So it's just came into my mind when we started to do this EMI, International Program of Nursing. So, you know, switching the language from Indonesia to English is not easy because we have a new, even in Bahasa Indonesia, nursing terms is difficult. Now you mentioned it in English. It's a whole new world. So therefore, that is why I'm interested in collecting the original data from the English textbooks and journals to create a word list. So to do this, the only the only tool that I can have is the corpus linguistic, because corpus linguistics collects the big data, electronic data, and they provide us with the words that we feed them. So if we feed them journals, then the words in the journals will appear to us. So for me, for myself, I want to find what words are more frequently used in certain journals, in certain textbooks, so we can facilitate our students and our lecturers in the in the Faculty of Nursing. These are the words that you need to focus on because the textbook are saying this. So that's our main focus. So the process itself, I think the beginning of the process is challenging because corpus linguistic is not my thing. And this is the first time I'm encountering it. That is why before I said that I learned through summer school in Universitas Diponegoro. I also take a MOOCE class through FutureLearn. FutureLearn, that's the name of the application. It's like Coursera and stuff like that. So I also learned from the University of Lancaster. And as well as I watch a lot of countless YouTube videos to teach me about the corpus linguistics. So that was the challenging part. After that, after we know what is this corpus linguistic, it gets easier. So I think the process of hand searching and hand picking the content words, the nursing terminologies are the next more challenging process. So yes, Ibu Yani, that's the story behind it. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for the answer. It's really clear for me.
Okay, yes.
Good luck for your future endeavor, people.
Yeah, we're waiting for September, yeah, when it is launched. I mean the word list, yeah. Okay, next questions come from Ibu Foni. Yeah, Ibu Foni, maybe you can mention where is your affiliation. Ibu Foni asked Mr. Made, yeah, as we know that what is it? Teach English many various fields, so we have to deep research about genuine activities in every field. Yeah. And then we know that we have to spend much time before we arrange the learning plan. So how to get significant time to do the research? Yeah. So Pak Ade, maybe you can explain to Ibu Foni. Yeah. About.
Okay, thank you very much for Bu Ekta, and thank you for Bu Foni for question. So what I explained here actually doesn't match with English for academic purposes. They use different things. So when I teach in many fields, for example, English for academic purpose, I use what I call as language-based responsibility. So needs analysis by using language-based responsibility. So the one I presented that kind of material long time ago, 20 years ago in Universitas of Jember. So what I call as language-based responsibility. So what we need to do is to analyze responsibility of our client. Say, for example, in academic purposes, as student, what they need to do. So if you mean here, various fields here is English for academic purposes, so English for study program. So we have to analyze, we have to ask our student, or maybe the better one is the management of the study program, what needs to be, how language is used in terms of their preparation as students. So say, for example, from my research, the one mentioned by Bu Ekta, dealing with Faculty of Medicine, so I found that students' needs of English can be divided into three major parts here. The first one, in short-term goals, they have to prepare themselves to be student, preparing student to be student. And the second one, as mentioned by Pa Ade, student needs English for graduation requirement, whether IELTS, TOEFL, or whatever used in institution. And the third one, in order to prepare for job and also professional development. So in order to fulfill, which one we will achieve here? So whether preparing student to be student first, which means that they need to have a lot of comprehensive reading ability, so that's to prepare student to be student. And then in midterm goal, in order to prepare TOEFL, we have to give them TOEFL preparation. So each goals here has their own design. We cannot put them together. So that's the solution. So that my suggestion dealing with various fields here, you have to have a kind of skeleton in designing courses. So say, for example, when we teach a different study program, so for EAP or reading comprehension, for example, we have to need kind of a pattern. So we design pattern or skeleton first, and then we have to write the skeleton, and then we put the flesh by using text Komilie about corpus, for example, corpus for nurse, corpus for other field of study. So the first one, from all faculty, we have to have kind of skeleton. One skeleton for all study program, but the flesh will be different. So if the direction will be the same. So I think that's what my suggestion, Bu Foni. So I think it is different approach from what I presented here. So we use different approach for designing courses for field of studies. So the one that I mentioned in my presentation is appropriate for kind of localized tourism. For example, we want to write tourism about Borobudur for those who work in that place, or Prambanan Temple. So that's become one module for designing that. If you want to write English for tourism in Lombok, for example, that's my plan for next. My research is in order to put together the result of my students' work to be part of my national grant here in order to design books for English for tourism in Lombok by using standpoint model. So I think once again here that different approaches, Bu Foni, dealing with that. I think I hope I answered your question, Bu Foni. Okay,
thank you, Pak Made, for the explanation. Maybe sorry for there is something with my camera, so I can show my video, and thank you for your explanation. But it's in my experience. Actually, I teach in midwifery class. Sometimes suddenly I get class in management, so it's hard for me to get planning and learning RPS or syllabus in that class, because the time is very not I didn't get the long time to make the planning before, so maybe I have to do the research quickly to get the planning itself before I get to teach in that management class. Thank you for Pak Made and Ibu Ekta.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ibu Foni. Yeah, so it is also our challenges as a lecturer to have a limited time, and then you can take Bapak Made suggestions. Okay. Well, Bapak Ibu, it's already time's up, I think, and we just have so many actually pros for the practitioners or the speakers here relates to their specific roles, in nursing, and so in management, in tourism and medical, and maybe we can invite another speakers with different roles, as Ibu Komilie say that it can be used authentic materials, in designing the words word list, and then it takes a real life communications needs also from Pak Made, and how how to provide the strategies to overcome the challenges by the students of UKIM to reach the goals of TOEFL and IELTS by Pak Ade. Okay, before we close, I would like to say thanks to the speakers and also to the committees of ESP sections number 12. I'm Ekta. Please apologize if I have many mistakes during to be the moderators in this sub-sessions. I would like to, gratitude to all of you, and hopefully we can meet again in the other sessions. I will give back the time to MC. Ibu Yanti, the time is yours.
Okay, well, time flies. Thank you, Ibu Ekta, for leading the sharing session so well. And thank you for Ibu Komilie, Pak Ade, and Pak Sujana for your remarkable insights. I'm sure everyone got what they expected today, the enlightenment. And next, before we close the sharing session, let me remind you to please check the attendance list link in the chat room. And also, for your information, the link for the material has been shared there as well. Okay, all right. Next, there will be some announcements from the committee, and we have Pak Dwi to share the points. Pak Dwi, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Yanti. Thank you, Ibu Ekta, Bu Komilie, Pak Ade, and also Pak Made for your valuable contribution and participations. And I just would like to remind for the attendance list. Bianti has reminded us about that. And the second one is about the membership registration. Again, I've also said it in the beginning of the session, actually. But I would like to remind you, because some of you will probably ask about this kind of information, that we would like to have membership renewal and also membership registration in August, so next month. So if we would like to distribute the information via our WhatsApp group. If you are new to our community, welcome, Bapak Ibu. Just for your information, we have also a WhatsApp group. Probably Ibu Erni can please share the link to join the WhatsApp group, because our information will be distributed there. So I think that's all, Ibu Yanti. Again, thank you so much, Bapak Ibu, for this inspiring program. Thank you, Ibu Yanti.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Dwi. Okay, finally, we've come to the end of today's sharing session, Indonesian ESP Teachers Community sharing session number 12. Once again, thank you for being here, Bapak Ibu, the outstanding committee of the Indonesian ESP Teachers Community, and the awesome speakers, moderators, and participants. I'm Roshida Jayanti Bijaya, your MC today, signing off. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a
Bapak.
good day.
We have Ibu Lulu Iswati.
Yeah. Kami Bu